Hello, divine blessings and peace to you all. Today I want to share a bit about the power of prayer and tell you a couple of stories about how prayer became so important and instrumental and transformational in my life. And then at the end I want to share a prayer with you that I use each and every day that it is my hope that you will use, and by doing so you will be able to really connect and align with your divine soul purpose. So I started my journey with prayer a long time ago when I was 18. I was living in Australia at the time, and my life was in turmoil. It was just everywhere I looked there were horrors, really horrible things happening all around me. I remember having this repetitive nightmare of planes just falling out of the sky and me being left to pick up the carnage from these gruesome sights. And I just decided that I had to get out. I had to get out of Australia, and I couldn't decide where I wanted to go. It was between Dubai or London. And I was working for a photographer at the time, and I had no connection to God or spirit, no conception of any of these ideas, never prayed, anything like that. And I was really confused, and I was working for a photographer at that time, and I went to work that day, and I remember I opened up this magazine, and I usually didn't open up magazines when they came in, and I just opened it up, and the first page that was there was this 2-page spread of Dubai. I thought, well, that's interesting, but still it wasn't enough to convince me. And although I wasn't praying at the time for answers, I was definitely confused and asking myself for answers. I hadn't really connected it to a divine creator or being or anything. So I left work that day, and I'm walking along the street, and this guy walks up to me on the side of the street, and he says, hey, how you doing? I said, good. How are you? He said, good. He said, what do you do? I said, yeah, I work for a photographer, but I'm about to travel. And he stops and he looks at me and he says, go to Dubai. And I was like, what? No one had even heard of Dubai. This is back in 2007. And he said, yeah, I just got back from there. It's amazing. You got to go. I was like, okay, that's strange. And then he just walked off and left. He said, oh, this is me, and he left. Didn't ask for my number or anything. Needless to say, I got the message, and I decided to go to Dubai. Now, when I went to Dubai, I created this incredible life for myself. I was so happy. I had an amazing job. I had an amazing apartment, friends, an incredible life. And one day we were all having a party at my apartment with some my girlfriends that I was living with. And I remember just being so overwhelmed with this profound sense of happiness, which I'd never felt before. And I walked out onto the balcony of my apartment, and this was the first conversation I had with God. And it went like this. I said, God, why are you making me so happy? Why? I couldn't understand it. And I knew, just because of the experiences I had had over there, I knew that God had a hand in all of this. It couldn't have just been me. It couldn't have been coincidences. There was too much miracles and synchronicities happening for it to be coincidence. And from that day forth, I began my conversations with God. I think I spoke to God pretty much almost every day since then. So today I do a lot of prayer. Throughout the day I meditate, I do yoga, but I do loads of prayer. And one that I've been doing a lot of lately, I repeat it about 10 or 20 times a day, usually when I'm going out for a walk in the nature. And this is the one I want to share with you today in the hope that you will do it too. So using any name for spirit or God or whatever feels good with you, I simply say, Infinite Spirit, I surrender to your will. Infinite Spirit, I surrender to your way. Infinite Spirit, I surrender to your plan. Help me release that which I'm ready to release, and help me to receive what is mine by divine right. So that's the prayer I wanted to share with you today. And just to summarize, I guess the moral of the story is, if like me, you're going through a tough time and everything's in turmoil and you can't make the front from the back, the side from the other side, and you're feeling really disconnected from God, you might need a big change. For me, it was a big change, a radical change, leaving the only place I'd ever known to do something new And in that change, I was open and I embraced Spirit, and I was shown that not only am I a creator of my reality, but I'm a co-creator, and that when we use prayer, when we use our word and our mind to connect with that which created worlds and universes and our souls and our bodies, then we can really do anything. So happy praying. I hope this helps you or inspires you to pray. And you know, the Creator's always there, willing to help, willing to guide you, willing to show you the way, and take those burdens from you. So open your heart up and make some changes and let the Infinite Spirit catch you on your way. God bless.